Yes, as a good little radio show host, I did put my phone on airplane mode so it will not go off while I'm in the studio. Thank you very much. I am that conscientious. Sometimes production engineers' phones go off during the thing.
Not mine.
Not yours. No, not yours. No.
Not Jared Markle's.
What is that the Facebook update thing? The bling.
Oh yeah, when I was playing audio from something and it would like pop, bling, something like that.
Well, no, I heard that. I told you I heard that on regular radio. I was listening to broadcast radio, and I heard the.
They still have that?
Yeah, actually, some places it still exists. Oh. They have towers and what have you. But I was listening to broadcast radio, and the song was going, and I heard this bling, and I thought to myself, "Did I just hear what I think I just heard?" And I kept listening, and like 2 minutes later, bling. Like, hey, DJ, hey, studio engineer there at...
You shouldn't be logged into Facebook with that computer.
WXYZ. You might want to turn the Facebook off. Because you know that everything's digital today. They don't have any records. They used to have records, then they had carts, then they had like tapes.
You actually had to put a record on?
Yeah, you actually had to pick up the little arm with the needly thing on it.
Well, what if you put it in the wrong spot?
Well, that's why you had to they had this thing called queuing it up. You ever heard of the term queue up the next song?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was.
That would be extremely
This
difficult.
is how you did it, Jared. What you would do is you would put your headphones on, and you had two turntables. And so turntable A would be playing the song. And then with your headphones, you could queue up the song on turntable B without everybody else hearing it.
Yeah.
And then there's a little switch, and you would just hit the little switch, and you'd fade the existing song out, and the new song would pick up. I know, you're like, what? That sounds like a lot of work to me. That's a lot of physical labor.
Yeah, you can't just press a button now. What's going on? You gotta like find the song and the spot in the song that you want to cue it up to. You can't just hit play.
Well, and you know, most of that's why 45s were so popular, because you had one. You didn't have to worry, you know. But not all the songs you wanted to play were on 45s. Sometimes there was...
Oh, you're not talking about like a 1911.
No, I'm not talking about a 1911. All right, for all of you kids under age 30...
You might want to educate people that are like 18 and 19.
Yeah, all of you under age 30.
I know what that is.
Black discs of vinyl that had music on them. And the 45 versus 33 was and it was 33 and a third, actually. Was the RPMs, or the rotations per minute, that it spun around on the turntable-y thingy. And, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's totally lost on you.
Well, I knew what it was, just because you've told me before. I think it was you. We still have a record player at the house.
We do? You do?
I do, yeah.
At your house, you have a record player?
We have like 30 records.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because Alex has them.
Yeah, if you go to Barnes and Noble, they have like tons of records for sale, like Nine Inch Nails and Korn. And
yeah, but how much are they? Are they like double what you would normally pay for them, because you're paying for the nostalgia?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's like $30 for a record.
Speaking of kids and people that don't know what the heck a black vinyl album is, we want to congratulate our little rodeo guy. All right, he's not a little rodeo guy; he's a young man. Andrew is our Indiana rodeo, high school rodeo champion. And Andrew's going to be going to Wyoming to compete in the Nationals. So congratulations. And he will also be competing in a trap shooting competition. So congratulations to you, Andrew. We know that you're out there listening.
So the Nationals is the rodeo.
Yeah, the National rodeo. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then he's going to be...
Because he's an Indiana rodeo, high school rodeo kid. And he's going to, I think he said Big Springs, Wyoming, for the Nationals. So
I'm glad we've got the opportunity.
Go team, student of the gun. Woohoo!
Yep, I'm glad we've got that opportunity to be affiliated with Andrew. Yeah,
our young man there. And if you come into the official Student of the Gun University, there is a plaque up in the lobby.
Andrew, and Andrew's dad, and Andrew's mom. When are you guys going to come down to Biloxi to a Student of the Gun University?
Are you going to put them on the spot?
Yep.
Oh, way to go. Way to put him on the spot.
I expect an email within 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Before we've got lots of stuff to talk about today. It is Tuesday. It is we're just getting started. We're just getting ramped up here on a full week of Student of the Gun Radio. Coming to you, of course, from the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, or the GCOE.
GCE.
GCE, as Sally likes to call it. Speaking of Sallys and Laurens and Marys and women who listen to Student of the Gun Radio, do you want me to say it?
I have an email out to a couple women asking what would be the best way to...
West Bay?
West Bay, yeah. What would be the West Bay? I'm
Best
guessing
way.
that's probably somewhere in like California or something. But anyway, so the best way to do what we want to do.
Okay.
I mean,
You're
marketing.
just like, really, you're throwing it out
women
there.
in the marketing world.
No. Wrong answer. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about...
the best way to get our message, like how we can reach them the best is what I'm saying.
Oh, to the women's...
I know,
the
you can
women's
say what
battalion.
you need to say.
Okay. I thought you were talking about something else. Because we know women who do marketing. But I'm also talking about the Student of the Gun all-women's battalion.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can. My mind went completely left direction. I was informing you.
I thought you were going to talk about like Laura or somebody like that. Laura with the Gun
she's
District,
one of them. Yeah.
Gun District, and so forth. Okay, and Samantha. Samantha, if you're listening, hi. All right, I know I'm giving like we're playing Mouseketeer roll call. Cubby, Roy, Annette, hi. But all right, how many of you guys remember Romper Room and the Magic Mirror?
Nope.
All right, there's this show, and it was called Romper Room, and it was on UHF. It was on Channel 50 when I was growing up. And the host would pick up her magic mirror, and she would hold up her magic mirror, and she would say, "In my magic mirror, I can see Billy, and there's Susie, and Jimmy, and Michael, and Mary." And so when you were 5 years old and you were watching Romper Room, you're like, "Oh, say my name." And if she said your name, you're like, oh. You're 5 years old. And you know what's funny about that? So your little 5-year-old watching Romper Room, and the host says, "I see Mary, I see Paul." And you get all excited because you heard your own name, right? We have adults in America that actually get excited about seeing their own name. And how do I know that? Because Coca-Cola, for the last 2 summers, has been putting special name bottles. And, Jared, is it part of the decline of Western society and, basically proving Ivo Shandor right, that you have white trash people standing in Walmart digging through the Coke bin, that big giant square box in the aisle, standing there digging through it to find a Coke Zero bottle with their name on it so they can buy it?
I was just making sure you weren't talking about the John Jones kind of Coke.
No.
Okay.
No, the Coca-Cola.
Oh, because you did say Walmart, right?
Yeah, standing in the aisle at Walmart, digging through the giant bin of Coca-Cola single bottles to find one with their name on it.
If you guys find one with the name JARRAD on it, send it to me.
Yeah, you better put your hands on that quick because you're not going to find it. Mine's pretty easy, but you're not going to find that one. How about Benaiah? You need to find that one.
Or how about Orangelo?
Orangelo. How about Shady Nasty?
There you go. It's your dynasty.
It's your dynasty. Before we lose our minds, let's thank our friends at SWAT Fuel. SWAT Fuel. Special weapons and tactics for the body. You know you want it. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you're like, and so every once in a while, we say something about SWAT Fuel, and someone will pop up with a message. What's this SWAT Fuel all about? Dudes, you guys need to listen louder. You chicks, you dudes, you need to listen louder. Go to Student of the Gun Homeroom on YouTube, and the top video is me, Professor Paul, interviewing Dr. Dan Olesnicki of SWAT Fuel. And basically, we just lay it all out for you. This is what it is. You want to know? Bam, 4 minutes. Watch the video. At the end of the video, you're like, okay, now I get it. Now I totally understand.
And SWAT Fuel is not only for energy. It is also for mental focus, and mental focus is something you need as you pull the trigger.
That's right. Well, mental focus is for everybody. Yeah. All right, Velocity Triggers, designed for precision. Yep, designed for precision. And you want to check those guys out at velocitytriggers.com. If you got a black rifle, they have a trigger for you. And yes, you can install it at your own kitchen table, at your own workbench, in your garage. You can do it. Just follow the video, and you won't be wrong.
I did it. If I could do it, anybody could do
Jared
it.
Jared did it.
So does Crossbreed, do they make holsters for black rifles yet?
I don't think they make like AR-15 pistol with SIG brace holsters. I don't think they make those yet. But they do make holsters for just about everything else. Not everything, but just about everything. If you can walk into a gun shop and buy it, chances are really high that Crossbreed Holsters makes a holster for it. It's as simple as this. Go to crossbreedholsters.com. If you carry a gun, if you want to carry a gun, if you think you need to carry a gun, which you probably should be, you want to wear a Crossbreed holster. I'm wearing one right now. I've got a Super Tuck Deluxe on in my shorts. I'm wearing my shorts. I got my my flip-flops on. Oh, P.S., for those of you that wanted to give me fashion advice on Facebook, there's one person on planet Earth that is allowed to give me fashion advice, and you're not her. So, that's pretty much the end of that story. All right, moving on. We've got a story here. This literally, as we were preparing the show, just popped up in front of my face. It just, and I thought, you know what? I have to share this. Now, the dateline on this was June 13th, but as you're hearing this, it's a few days later. However, nope, that's not it. Wrong story. I was just going to read the sandwich maker story early.
Oh, no.
Yeah, don't read that one yet. No, this one is from the LA Times. Here we go.
Times.
LATimes.com. And the title of the story, and this should scare you, Rise in Accidental Gunshots by... My freaking page just refreshed with an advertisement.
Yep, don't you
I'm
need that?
Going
it's
to
by LA County
to LA
deputies.
And break someone's kneecaps.
It's Rise in Accidental Gunshots by LA County deputies follows new firearm.
Oh, LA Times, you can...
The accidental gunshots are following the new firearms? Like they're behind them? Or...
Yeah. Accidental Gunshots by LA County deputies follows new firearms. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and dive in and see what Cindy Chang, contact reporter for the LA Times, has to say about this.
I wonder where they got the idea for this story.
I don't know.
Might be from...
Well, isn't it the LA Times that... Okay, so the LA Times ran a story about how Glocks were dangerous, right? And they shouldn't carry those.
By the way...
And the picture in here is not a Glock. It's an M&P.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Smith & Wesson M&P.
But this is what it's about. But anyway, so I'm going to the last one, the last article. After we talked about it, we got people that emailed us saying, "Hey, you should have specified that it's in the op-ed section." This one is not, so you can suck it.
Oh, okay. Can you say "suck it" on the public hour?
Yep. Okay.
Well, what is this? This is in the news or what? I don't know.
Local California.
All right. One sheriff's deputy shot himself in the leg while pulling out his gun to confront a suspect. Another accidentally fired a bullet into a restroom stall. A third deputy stumbled over a stroller in a closet as he was searching for a suspect, squeezing off a round that went through the wall and lodged in a piece of furniture in the next room. Accidental gunshots by Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies have more than doubled in 2 years, endangering bystanders and occasionally injuring deputies. The jump coincides with the department's move to the new handgun that
They said it.
Lacks a safety lever and requires less pressure to pull the trigger. Sheriff's officials say that the increase in accidental discharges. All right, let's just go ahead and pull the train off to the side here and stop. Number one, if your finger is on the trigger, if your booger hook is on the bang switch, and the gun goes bang, but you didn't intend for it to go bang, but it did anyway because your finger made contact with the trigger, pushed it backwards, and made the gun fire, then it is not an accident. Can we get that through our heads, LA Times? Somebody call Cindy Chang and tell her, Cindy, listen up, sweetheart. If your booger hook is on the bang switch and the gun makes noise, it's because you did something wrong. It was negligence on your part. It was not an accident. Okay, moving on with that. Let me tell you something about sympathetic motor response and the startle response. Your hands have the ability to compress 20, 25, 30 pounds of pressure. Do you understand that? During the startle response, what's the startle response? I lose my balance. I start to fall. And what happens to a human being? What happens to the Homo sapiens' hands when they lose their balance, they're surprised, or they start to fall? They clamp shut. Your fingers are putting way more than 5 pounds, way more than 10 pounds. Your fingers are putting way more than 15 pounds of pressure down. It does not matter one hill of beans, one iota, if you have a gun that has an 8.5 pound trigger press, or a 12-pound trigger press, or even the insane New York plus P plus P plus 15-pound trigger press. If the human hand is on that and you are startled, surprised, lose your balance, your hands can press 15 pounds in a startle response. It doesn't matter. It does not matter one damn bit, Cindy. So, and you're like, well, but it doesn't have a safety lever, doesn't have a safety lever, doesn't have a safety lever. What do we teach officers when they draw their guns? Let's say you have the Beretta M9, which they had for years and years and years and years and years, and or a various Smith & Wesson model or whatever. You draw the gun, remove it from the holster, step one, grasp the gun, step two, remove from the holster. And as you're doing that, we teach the officers to disengage the safety. What? You're telling me that when they pull the gun out of the holster, they take the safety off? Yeah, morons who don't know any better. Because if you leave it on and then you're startled or you're confronted with an unexpected threat, you're going to try and shoot it. But you won't be able to shoot it because the safety will still be on. You're like, oh, no, we should teach them to take the safety off right before they fire the shot. Really? Because you're so adept at physical combat and you understand all the dynamics of a violent life and death struggle?
You can't expect cops to train for the least amount, and the ratio of the time that they actually have to use a firearm is the least out of all their duties that they have to do as a police officer. So you can't expect them to train.
That's right. I mean, they've got a lot of other stuff to do. They got to write tickets and, you know.
Yeah. Being able to talk to the people, being able to communicate is more important than being able to, you know, use that whole life and death situation thing and saving their lives, saving the lives of the other one.
Well, let me go ahead and I'll continue this, and then we'll put the cork in this sucker, and we'll move on with something that's not stupid.
At what?
Move on with something that is not stupid.
Okay.
What did you think I said?
The next story is not stupid?
No, we'll move on. Well, just...
Okay, I'll bear with you.
Calm down. It says, but the problems may not be over as more deputies switch to the Smith & Wesson M&P 9. In response, department officials have imposed extra training requirements. The M&P has obvious benefits. It's easier to shoot accurately, can be fired more reliably under stress, and is a better fit for people with smaller hands. The switch was prompted in part by a threat of a lawsuit by a woman who had failed the Sheriff's Academy. All right, that's a bunch of horse crap, because I've taught 5'0", 4'11", tiny munchkin women to shoot an M9, all ninja'd up with their helmets and flak jackets out on the range. I've taught those people to do it, and if they can learn to do it, then this cop wannabe chick in L.A. could learn to do it.
You want to know what pisses me off?
Tell me what pisses you off.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what pisses me off. And, okay, so women want to be equal to men. They want to have, because they can do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they can do the same thing.
They can do the same
thing.
So
their argument is, and I use there as loosely as a term, their argument is that they can do the same thing as men, so they need to be equal. So if you can't use the same gun because it's too big for your hands, then you can't do the same thing.
Then you're not equal. Well, am I saying that the Beretta is superior to the M9 or the M&P 9? No. And obviously, and I've said it before, a single action press, a single press like as a Glock or an M&P or an XD or whatever, TP9SA.
I have a question.
Is a good one. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Let me finish
when
this.
You're done.
Yeah, but it requires effort. If you want to master the M9, it requires more effort than a Glock or an M&P. It just does. It requires that you, as the individual shooter, put more mental and physical effort into learning the tool. And that is where we are in the United States of America today. People don't want to put the effort in. They don't have time to put the effort in. They want the tool to do the job for them. I have qualified. Well, if I tell people that I qualified expert and that I broke the range record with the M9, then that will sound arrogant. So I'm not going to say that. But I've spent enough time teaching people to shoot the M9 pistol to understand that, yes, it does require effort. There are additional steps. However, it's called run what you brung. That's what my good friend Doug Hunter, who was my firearms instructor way back in the academy 20 plus years ago. When I was in the academy, we had people show up, and this is a good story, Jared. So we had people show up from all different departments because it was a sheriff's department academy. But you had municipalities from this municipality, this sheriff's agency, that sheriff's agency, and of course when you have individual agencies, every single one has a different kind of gun. And back then, in like the late 80s, early 90s, we were just starting to transition from the double action revolvers. Most sheriff's departments still had DA revolvers. So, some were starting to transition, but most had the revolvers. But your municipal departments, some of them, they just discovered the Glocks. Glocks were really brand new back then. If you had a Glock, you were like an anomaly. But the Smith & Wesson DA pistols were out there. Some people were shooting. I actually shot an M1911 A1 pistol in the academy, and I carried it. But my point is this. We had I had a relatively small academy class. I think we started like 24 people or something, or 28 people, and we graduated 22 or whatever. It doesn't matter. But we had a few women in the class. 2 of the women in the class passed the academy. 2 failed the academy. 2 of them failed the academy because they could not pass the firearms qualification. And the one who could not pass the firearms qualification, during the academy, she showed up on day 1 with gun A. And then she shot it for a day, and she told the instructor, it wasn't working for her. She was going to go back to her agency. She was going to get a different gun. And he said, okay. So she comes back. She has a different gun. She's shooting that. And she can't get that. She's she was one of these ones where she drew the gun and shot the sidewalk in front of her and stuff like that. And so they're like, all right, stop. And she's like, there's something wrong. The sights are all messed up. You remember this story, Jared? This is the one who said the sights were all messed up. I can't. Yeah. And so one of the instructors, it wasn't Doug, it was the other one. He took the gun He's like, let me see that gun. So she handed it to him. He took the gun, inverted it, held it upside down, fired it with his pinky, and put like 5 rounds into a group about 2 inches across. And he handed her back the gun, and he goes, there's nothing wrong with that gun. He said, it's you. So you need to fix yourself. Well, long story short, she ended up at the, in the firearms portion of the academy was spread out over like 4 weeks or 5 weeks or something like that. And so she ends up going through 3 different guns. She fails the academy, or she cannot pass the academy. I mean, it's one of those, well, you don't get a certificate because you failed the firearms portion. And it wasn't because of the hardware. It was because of her inability to perform the task. And are there men that can't do the task? Yeah, sure, there are men that can't do the task. But the point is this. Stop blaming the gear for your inability. That is the bottom line when it comes to Glock, Smith & Wessons, Berettas, whatever. Oh, I would do better if I had my gun. I used to love that. These guys would show up with, at our training, and they're like, the Beretta, or blah, 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 blah. If I had my 1911, I'd be smoking this course. Really? You're shooting me shotgun patterns with this 9mm, but if you had your 1911, you'd be... No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. It's a trigger. The
guns have sights.
The fundamentals are the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You can hold a Beretta still, focus on the... I will give you this. The double-action trigger presses on military Berettas are criminal. They are criminal. And if you wanted to do something, if the Congress wanted to do something, they would do a RICO on Beretta for issuing 15-pound trigger pulls to... all right, we got to get moving on. Before we move on, I want to remind you turkeys out there that Student of the Gun TV is not on a channel. We're not on a television channel anymore, are we, Jared?
No.
You're like, well, what channel are you guys on? The answer is Student of the Gun is on Student of the Gun TV. We're not on a channel. We are the channel. And if you have Roku, you have Student of the Gun TV. If you don't have Roku, you might want to look into it. Let me tell you what, because I like you guys, and I like you to have disposable income, I'm going to tell you this. Go to Walmart, go to your favorite electronics store. If you're paying a cable bill, if you're paying a dish, and I don't get a penny.
Dump it.
Yeah, dump. If you're paying dish, direct, cable, whatever. If you're paying that on top of your internet bill, dump it. Get rid of it. It's pointless. It's dead technology. What? No, man. I just got Dish. It's great. No, you think it's great, but it actually sucks, and I'm sorry. And people are getting mad at me. They're like, man, it sucks. On-demand app television it's not just the future. It's now. Whether it's Roku or whether it's Chromecast or whether it's Apple TV or whatever. But you buy a Roku player, you go in there, and then they have all the different sizes and sticks. It's kind of like do you want to buy a $5 vase, or do you want to buy a $10 vase, or a $15 vase? But you can buy the basic Roku adapter is like what, $39.95?
Sure.
It's right around $40. Jared says sure. All right, let's just say $40. So the basic Roku adapter is $40. You take it home, you attach it to your TV, you set it up. You get a 14-year-old to read the directions and set it up, and you're good to go. You're all done. You don't have to pay $40 a month every month from that point forward. And don't forget this: when you get a cable bill, when you get a dish bill, you get
taxes.
There's taxes on that son of a gun. So with the Roku, you pay the the sales tax, you buy it, and that's it. You're all done. And you're like, well, yeah, but you still have to have internet. Okay, granted, you still have to have internet. Were you planning on not having internet at your house tomorrow? Okay, I know some people up in Southwest Ohio and in Amish country in Pennsylvania. I understand that they don't have internet, and I'll give you that. But you're not listening to me right now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Actually, we do have a lot. Well, we do have a lot of people like in Texas, but they still have internet.
They still have internet.
Yeah,
dude, we were in freaking, where was that? Jackson, Texas? No. What was that place? Benjamin, Texas. Yeah. Population 258.
They had awesome internet.
And we had 4-bar Wi-Fi, or 4-bar freaking service on our
4G,
phones.
Yeah,
4G service on our phones.
Yeah.
So it's there. So do yourself a favor. Roku is now, and you're like, well, how come you're not on Apple yet? How come you're not on Chromecast? How come because Roku is the number one. That's it.
And it takes time.
Yeah. Well, we had to do the number one first. It wouldn't make any sense to do the smallest one first. So the most popular adapter is Roku TV, and then all the rest. But it's coming. So check that out. All right, Jared is just itching. He's over there in his chair, and he's scooting around itching because he came up with a new theme. Now, you know Nanny Bloomberg's call girls. You guys know. They're out there. Nanny picks up the phone, and he says, hey, I need you to go stir up some crap in Texas, in Montana, in Washington State. And he just picks up the phone, and he calls his favorite call girl, Shannon, and she jumps.
Yep. She does what she's
jumps.
told.
She does what she's told. And Jared's got a new theme song for you guys. So perk up your ears, hippies.
Yeah, I was excited for the new theme song because it's actually a kind of a huge change of pace for Student of the Gun because we don't ever use this kind of music. But here you go.
Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning. Plus, I keep the nana real sweet for your eating. Yes, you be the boss, and yes, I be respecting whatever that you tell me, cause it's game you be spitting. Oh, best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it. I'll be on deck, keep it in check. When you need that, I'ma let you have it.
Okay.
Who is that? Give
It's
them.
David Guetta. I think that's how you say his name. It says featuring Nicki Minaj, BB something, and Afrojack.
And what is the name of it?
It's called Hey Mama.
It's called Hey Mama.
Yep.
How apropos that is. And this story comes to us from BearingArms.com. Hi, Bob. Deranged moms demand. Ooh,
Dude, he updated his website.
Yeah, they demand. The deranged moms are demanding. What are they demanding? More bedroom action. Deranged moms demand leader blames Dallas PD attack on open carry. What? Oh, here we go. It is becoming increasingly, and this is a story by Bob Owens on BearingArms.com. It is becoming increasingly evident that Michael Bloomberg didn't require a mental health background check before hiring Shannon Sandwich Maker Watts to lead gun prohibitionist group Moms Demand More Bedroom Action. The highly paid former Monsanto PR executive took to Twitter. Never forget that. She's making money. She's paid. Hence the paid call girl. She's being paid to do this, to stir up crap on Nanny Bloomberg's behalf. And the reason that he's paying her, why is Nanny paying a woman to do it? Because he knows that a lot of men in America are too afraid to criticize her or call her out because, oh, then I might look like I'm a misogynist. I might look like I'm denigrating women, so I'm just going to let Nanny Bloomberg's call girl lie, and I'm not going to say anything about it because I'm afraid. That's what happens when you raise your men to be vaginas. But moving on, the highly paid former Monsanto PR executive took to Twitter this morning, and the dateline on this story is June 13th, took to Twitter this morning to blame a mentally ill man's attack on a Dallas PD headquarters on open carry. That's right. It's not the fault of the individual. It's just there's too much freedom out there for you peasants.
Hold on. You said that you're a moron if you open carry in your video on Facebook.
No, I didn't say you're a moron if you open carry. I said you're a moron if you try and take a gun to the airport. If you try and take a rifle to the airport.
Zoo.
No, the airport too. The guy in Atlanta went to pick up his daughter at the airport.
Oh, I was talking about the video.
Yeah, I know. I'm tracking.
Yeah.
The Tavor, going to the zoo. So even though Texas Governor Greg Abbott hasn't signed the bill into law yet, so actually lawful open carry of handguns in Texas isn't even a law yet. But it's just because it exists, because the concept is out there. This is what Nanny Bloomberg's call girl had to say in her tweet, and that's Shannon R. Watts #1 sandwich maker. Meanwhile, Texas governor signing open carry law today that police oppose. Gunman opened fire at Dallas police, and she links the story. Oh, man planted bombs at U.S. police headquarters. So, is there an open bomb carry legislation that I missed out on? Yeah, and then she followed up with, this is the sandwich maker, why is at Governor Abbott ignoring 75% of Texas police chiefs who oppose open carry? Hashtag Dallas PD, hashtag Texas legislator, hashtag gunsats, hashtag make me a daggum sandwich and shut up. Our colleagues at Twitchy have documented some of the reactions of Shannon's unhinged tweets. We're expecting a rational response, but we didn't get one. So, all right.
They're not expecting a rational.
Oh, they're not expecting a rational response.
I was like, what the? I didn't know that they were capable of rationalism.
So there you go. She just couldn't shut up about it. And the thing is it doesn't matter whether it's 100% propaganda lies. A large percentage of the community is just going to accept it because it comes from a mom. Because a mom wouldn't lie to you. A mom wouldn't take money to go out and propagandize and, basically just try and enslave you, take away your liberties and your rights, and undermine the Constitution.
You know what?
A mom wouldn't do that.
I'm starting a new political party. I'm going to call it the Rationalist Party.
The Rationalist Party.
Yep. So if you want to join in, feel free to.
Right now, someone's is just tripped over something.
RationalistParty.com.
As they're running across the shop floor. Slow down, Jeremy. All right. This next section is brought to you by Frog Lube. It just works. Yes, it does. It's green. It's minty. It's non-petroleum based. You could put it on your toast if you were really feeling froggy. But I digress. Frog Lube, it just works. Go to froglube.com. Century Arms, the makers of the TP9 SA. And if you missed it, catch up because we've got the new TP9 SA review on Student of the Gun Homeroom's channel. Student of the Gun Homeroom on YouTube. Check it out. Brownells. If you have a gun, Brownells has something for you. Even if you don't have a gun, Brownells.com has something for you. So check those guys out at Brownells.com and make sure when you go there that A, you look into their Edge program, and B, you look into their emergency and survival gear. All right. What is a pipe hitter? And there's a pipe hitters union, and they make T-shirts and hats and stuff. And here's the deal. Apparently, people in my audience, I understand that hippies and liberals and bedwetting progressives, I understand that they don't get it. But it really hurts my feelings when my listening audience, when you guys out there in the Student of the Gun world, I mean, unless you're one of the small percentage of hippie liberal puke faces that are tuning in just to try and catch me saying something I shouldn't say. And Jared, is there anything I shouldn't say?
Nope. Just things that you choose not to say.
That's right. There's nothing I should not say. There are just simply things that I choose not to say. All right, let's go to the Urban Dictionary. Pipe hitter. According to UrbanDictionary.com, a pipe hitter, someone or a group of people who are willing to go to the extreme in order to get things accomplished. Most commonly refers to the special forces, but is not limited to that. Can also serve as an extreme marksman, someone who will accomplish any task, no questions asked. It is rapidly evolving to encompass all those who live life by to the extreme, which is just so gay. We got to stop saying to the extreme because that's way overused. It says quotes here are examples. Blackwater is full of pipe hitters ready to go. The pipe hitters union creed: live extreme, always give 100%, and watch your brother's back. This pipe hitter is not actually a new term. Pipe hitter goes all the way back to the 20s and 30s when companies would hire pipe hitters to bring order from chaos. And if you want you want Paul Markel's definition of what a pipe hitter is? Because somebody asked me this. I was wearing my PHU shirt, and I was walking through the Evil Empire. You want to hear something funny, Jared? I love funny. I love funny. I was walking by at the Evil Empire, how they they have the Dish Network or the DirecTV sales table.
Yeah,
and there's always those guys standing out there in polo shirts, like trying to commission sell.
You know how you know
DirecTV?
DirecTV is hurting?
Because they have commissioned salesmen
At Walmart.
At Walmart trying to sell you that. Hey, what do you have for TV? Roku. Okay.
Where do you go from that? I wonder.
Yeah, they're like. The one guy, the guy's like, hey, what do you have for? What do you use to watch TV? I said, I don't watch TV. TV is dead.
What did he say?
He's like, oh, that's what you say. I'm like, dude, get the F away from me. It's like you're. Whatever. It cracks me up. There's like, I know you need to make your commission sale here. But anyway, the guy I was wearing my PHU shirt, and it says Pipe Hitters Union across the front. And I walk past the table, and I try not to make eye contact with these turds, because then they try and put a brochure in your hand. But a guy's like, hey, I got to ask you. He's like, what's a pipe hitter? And I looked at him, and I said, someone who brings order from chaos. And he said, oh. And he didn't have anything else to say. So that's the Paul Markle definition of what a pipe hitter is. It's someone who brings order from chaos, comma, with a rod of iron. Yeah, I stole that from the Bible. But think about it like this. In modern times, we have people that are willing to go forward and do the dirty work, do the hard work, do the things that people don't necessarily want to do. And, you know, the whole Blackwater thing. I worked for Blackwater for a short amount of time. I've worked for a number of contractor companies. See, you guys know the name Blackwater because it's in the news, or it was in the news all the time. But Blackwater is only one of dozens upon dozens of military contractor companies, of companies that provide pipe hitters to the U.S. government to go overseas and in the United States, too, sometimes, to do the hard work. And you're like, well, why we do that? Well, the reason we do that is because your government finds it cheaper to pay a flat rate to a contractor to get something done than they do to actually pay military personnel health care and salaries and benefits and housing and training and all that stuff. And not only that, but when you recruit people and you put them into the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and they've got a 4-year enlistment, but the job that you needed for them to do is over in 18 months, you can't just send them home, right? So let's say you're the U.S. government and you have a job, you have things that need to get done, but the contract may last 6 months, it may last 12, it may last only 3. So who do you go get? Well, you go get these military contractor companies, and there's millions of dollars to be made by that. And you're like, whoa, that's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of mercenaries, and I don't want mercenaries, blah, blah, blah. Who do you think these contractors are, moron? I get that all the time. I get people like, oh, the Blackwater guys are just a bunch of mercenaries. They're wannabes. They're not wannabes. They're the I already did it. Blackwater, Triple Canopy, NEK, other names of companies that you've never heard of, they are populated not by a bunch of fat, beer-swilling rednecks who are sitting on their couches. The people who work for those companies are top-tier operators. Okay, they're United States Marines, they're SOCOM, they're Special Forces, they're Pararescue, they're Navy SEALs. Those are the people that work for those companies. Those are the pipe hitters. They're not redneck mercenaries that just bought an AR-15. So get over yourself. And then that's the thing. People are like, oh, Blackwater, I hate Blackwater. I hate Blackwater. Do you support veterans? Oh, I love veterans. I love veterans. Veterans are wonderful, and I support veterans. And every Veterans Day, I go out and wave a flag. Who the hell do you think is in Blackwater? Who the hell do you think Blackwater hires? U.S. military veterans.
I was going to say bus drivers.
Yeah, bus drivers. People are like, oh, Blackwater evil. Oh, Blackwater bad. Blackwater mercenary. Like, Blackwater made up of U.S. military veterans who already paid their price. They paid their dues. They sweated. They lived in puddles and they slept in puddles and lived in holes in the ground and sweated in the jungle and the mountains and so forth. I've been with these dudes.
Now they have to get contract jobs because the country that they served doesn't help them enough. doesn't
And you're
do.
well,
them
here's what
justice.
instead of working for Blackwater, they should just go down to the VA and get in line and hope that maybe that the VA will do something for them in 18 months.
Dude, somebody that we know that had just got laid off and just got a new job, and he is around here a lot. He used the VA to find a new job, and it took 3 weeks of going there every single day. Being
He went there every single
day from open to close.
to try and
3 weeks
to get the job.
Yep.
Well, I guess that's not
This dude
bad.
shouldn't. Honestly, he shouldn't have to have a normal job, but
Yeah. So anyway, so what is a pipe hitter? A pipe hitter is not a crack smoker or a meth head or whatever. No, a pipe hitter is someone who brings order from chaos, who is willing to go the extra mile, who has punched their card and has done their duty. So next time someone asks you, now, PipeHittersUnion.com is an apparel maker. They are friends of ours. Mookie told us about them. Lawrence DeMonico is the head dude over there. Hey, Lawrence,
Great
what's
dude.
up? Mookie is the one who turned us on to PHU.
also a great dude.
And also a great dude. So, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Student of the Gun mobile app. If you don't have it on your phone, you're wrong like dick cancer, but you can fix yourself very easily because the Student of the Gun mobile app for iPhones, Android phones, and iPads is free thanks to our friends at Century Arms. So download it today. You're fresh out of excuses. All right, that's it. That's the end of the show. Derp, 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 derp. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow, I promise. And if I'm
think-
not, you can write for a full refund.
I say I think I'm over here pushing buttons and stuff, and I think he's waiting on me to.
I'm waiting for you to do that. What did you say tomorrow's topic was going to be, hippie?
NFA.
Oh, NFA. Not NSA, not SA, but NFA. If you guys want to talk about that, tune in tomorrow.
National Federal Ass or something. I can say that.
No, you can't say that.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can't? Well, I
You-
guess I'll bleep it.
you're
When
gonna
when you guys hear it, it'll be bleeped.
Yeah, when you write that down. All right, kids. Beginner once, student for life.